clapping. We have people
Yay!
clapping and cheering. Yay!
Yay! Here we are.
Yippee!
Welcome. Let's stop this from doing any further. Welcome to the Rachel and Miller podcast, where we discuss real estate, real life, and occasionally things we probably shouldn't. We're pros in the buying and selling of residential real estate, but nothing here is legal, financial, or professional advice outside of our licensed wheelhouses. We're just two humans. She keeps saying we're humans. We're
Three
just
humans.
humans. Proceed accordingly. I am Scott Miller, otherwise known as Miller.
Hi,
And
I'm Rachel Moreno. This is season 2, episode 4 on January 22nd, 2026. And we also have a guest, Mr. Kevin Walton, and he's going to talk to us today about reverse mortgages.
and
Thank you for
we
having
have
me.
Thank you.
Kevin. How long have you been doing the reverse mortgage game?
Well, I've been doing loans for about 35 years.
Wow.
Reverse mortgages solely for about 12 years.
Now, do you just do reverse mortgages, or do you do traditional loans also?
Yeah, I'm just doing reverse right now. I'm staying in that lane. It's a really special loan that needs a lot of attention because there's a lot of changes that go on. So if you kind of dip your foot in the water, you miss a guideline here or there, you can kind of mess things up. So I'm just staying in the reverse space right now.
That makes sense to me, and I also want to make that go away. Oh,
Kevin,
look at that! I
real
can see
quick,
everybody
could
now.
you take about a minute to explain as if we were maybe 10, maybe not 5, but maybe 10? What is a reverse mortgage?
Well, it's a loan where you do own your home, and it's a way to access the equity in your home with either no payments to pay the loan back or optional payments, whatever you want them to be.
How do you get how do you get a loan that you don't have to pay back?
Yeah, so it's a trade-off. So they'll only lend you typically 35 to 45% of the value of the home in total. And in exchange, you can choose not to make a payment for the rest of your life if you don't want to. But it's not free. The interest that gets calculated each month that goes unpaid gets tacked onto the balance of the loan and gets paid later, either when you pass away, you refi the property loan, or you sell the home.
What happens if, let's say, unfortunately, the owner does pass and the house is not worth as much as what is owed on the loan?
Yeah. So the reverse is a non-recourse loan, which means if there's ever a gap that's owed more than what the property's worth, you, the borrower or the beneficiaries don't have to pay it. Most other loans out there are recourse loans, like home equity lines of credit, first mortgages. Um, if you owe money after selling the property, it will follow you and they can collect on you. With a reverse mortgage, they cannot. So there are different types of reverse mortgages out there. There's the one we see on TV with Tom Selleck. That's the FHA. HECM which is an acronym, Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. HECM is the FHA version that comes with MIP insurance. As you guys know, with FHA loans, they have mortgage insurance on them. So if you end up owing at any point when you go to sell the home more than what the property's worth, the MIP insurance steps in as like gap insurance. It pays that gap. It makes the lender whole. So that
Understand.
way, if you're underwater, it takes care of it. The other reverse mortgages that are out there that are not HECMs, they don't have that insurance, but in exchange, they give you higher interest rates. But even still, if you owe more than what the home was worth, you still don't owe the gap.
You had mentioned when you gave a brief description of what a reverse loan is, you had mentioned that you can either choose to pay the loan back or not. Why would
Mhm.
somebody choose to do one over the other?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's estate planning purposes. If you have kids that you want to leave more equity to, because remember, if you don't make a payment, all the interest owed for that month, it gets tacked on the balance of the loan. So the loan balance will rise over time every time you don't pay the full amount of interest for that month. So that puts your heirs in a situation where they may not get all the equity out of the home that they may want. So some people say, well, I don't want the balance to go up that high. I'll make half payments. You can make a half payment every month. You can make a quarterly payment. Trust me, the bank will take your money. You can make a payment any amount, anytime you want. And so for estate planning purposes, some people do make payments. Plus, on the line of credit version of the reverse mortgage, if you make a payment, you can withdraw that money back out. It's like a credit card. So some people like that aspect as well.
Okay.
Miller's thinking.
I am. You guys see the smoke coming out of my head? So I have a suspicion this question is a loaded question that's not meant that way. So, and I also suspect that it depends on a lot of different variables. Well, I'll say my mom and dad took out a reverse mortgage 20 years ago, and they're now in their 80s, and they live in Oshkosh, Michigan. They don't, but they did.
Okay.
They don't make payments on the reverse mortgage. I think they pay the insurance and taxes on it, I think. Does that sound right?
Yes, you have to keep paying your property taxes and homeowners insurance most of the time on your own. There are some loans where they include them, but most of the time they do not.
So, being that I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna get teary-eyed. When one of them pass, the other person can stay in the house, correct?
Yes.
And when the other one passes, the heirs can pay off the loan, which was the reverse mortgage in the first place, right?
Yes.
So it's the reverse mortgage and anything else owed.
Yes.
But it sounds like if they're not paying the monthly payment, then there could be, that'll come out of the equity of the home at the end of the ownership upon death. Do I have that right, Kevin?
Correct.
And if they're making payments towards it, it's offsetting their heirs' payment after they pass.
Yeah, it'll lower the balance some. I mean, I do videos for everybody's situation. When we first start talking about the loan, I use a lot of video. So I will show amortization tables and, hey, here's what the balance can look like in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line. I want them to know if they don't make a payment that the balance goes up, because some
hose your heirs.
yeah, well, also I don't want my
That's what
phone
you
ringing.
say, Miller.
Well, he's right. I mean, because there's some boneheads out there who do what I do, who don't tell them this, and then they get the phone call, saying, you don't have any equity. I'm like, what? I don't do that. It is the very first conversation we talk about it. So I use video, and they're not little fluff pieces like, hey, use me for reverse. It is a 25 minute War and Peace video. You have to have some coffee or some strong tea to watch it, because it's very dense with information. But I do that because you could watch it over and over and over again to absorb it, and then you can give it to your kids, heirs, financial people to watch, so they can see what I'm saying. Otherwise, some people just send out a stack of papers, 150 pages, and say, hey, sign it, send it back. It never gets sent back. And if it does, they don't understand what they signed. So video is huge. And I go over all those situations that you just described with numbers, and I use their scenario.
I was just going to say it. You, from what I understand, you're speaking directly to them in the situation that they are in with some options.
Yeah, it isn't just Here's how the loan works. I want to know the loan balance. I want to know what you're trying to do with this home. Is it your forever home? Is it a 5-year keep, a 10-year keep? Do you want money out? How much money do you want? If there's room to give you money. And I put all that in the video. And most of the time, just like the beginning of the call, Scott, where I send a video, it raises more questions than it answers. And then I do another video. And by the end of the process, from the beginning to the end, sometimes there's about half a dozen videos that are in the process where they can go back to and look at.
And see, I personally love that. I'm an audio visual learner.
Yeah, me too.
I can read them like, wait, what did I just read? Huh?
Right. It takes me 3 times to read something to get it. That's why I wasn't great in school.
Right?
But video, hey, I could tell you, what's on side 1 and 2 of Back in Black, AC/DC, like, in order like that. Music, visual, audio, I get that. But not a great textbook person.
No, I get that. So I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Say somebody did do what we just talked about and said, here, sign this, and they sign it, and they have, quote, no equity, and they do a reverse mortgage. Is there a get out of jail free card that there can be a reverse mortgage? So that can be bought. I'm using words I don't know if I'm using the right terminology.
No,
Can that be bought out?
No, yeah. So when they first get the loan, let's say the house is just worth $1 million. The algorithm, how we determine how much of a loan we can get them, is age of the youngest borrower, equity position in the home, and prevailing rates. And then boom, out comes a loan amount. And we base on the youngest borrower of who is going to be on the loan. And so the younger you are, the less money you get. And so we're only going to give you on a home worth $1 million, maybe $350 to $450 for loan amount to begin with. But let's say, like you said, over time, 20, 25 years go by, maybe there's a property dip value. Maybe it goes down to 800,000. And maybe that balance of 450 has climbed up to 850. Now you're underwater. So what do the beneficiaries do if they get the home from their parents? Well, there's something that can be done. First off, if they say, I don't want the house, you just give it back to the bank. A deed in lieu of foreclosure. Just sign it over to the bank, let them sell it because there's no equity left in it for the heirs to begin with. If the heirs, I just went through this, someone found me in my YouTube channel, and they called me, and they said, my mom's house is worth $500. She owes $575. We want the house. What do? I said, call the bank. First, you have to get permission to talk to them, so they have to know that's a process. They got to know who you are. You got to identify yourself. So I help people with all that. So I service my loans. I don't do your loan and then say, hey, thanks for the commission. I service the loan all the way through. So they'll come out, the lender, appraise it. And let's say they appraise it for $500. They'll give you 5% off that appraised value if you want to buy it from them. So now you get to buy the property for $475. And you're going, well, wait a minute. They owe $550. How am I going to get this for $475? It's got gap insurance on it. If it's a HECM, it's going to pay the gap first. Then you get a 5% discount. Then you got to go out and get your own loan for that $475. So the way I tell people, if your parents have a trust, and I tell everybody get a trust, put in the trust language that says, my heirs have a chance to go on title after I pass in this order. My oldest son or favorite son or daughter go first, second, and so forth. In succession, who wants the house? Then you get on title. Then you can do the loan as a refinance. And then you get a loan for $475. So where can you get a loan if you just came on title? Well, there's still some lenders out there. If you're one day on title, they'll give you a refinance loan. And that's the one way you keep the loan, the home, in the family if it's underwater and not have to worry about paying that gap.
What typically is the interest rate for a refinance loan, such as what you just spoke of?
It's the same rate for in the reverse world. Adjustables, you can get them between, right now, they're tied to the 1-year treasury. That is for the adjustables. And then you tack on a margin of that on top of that of anywhere between. I do low margins to keep the rate down. And it gives the borrower higher loan amounts. So when you add the margin, the MIP insurance, and the index together, you're looking anywhere between right now 6.25 for a HECM adjustable, as of today, January 2026. And if you get the fixed rate, it's a little higher. They give you less money. So we do mostly adjustables. Like probably 95% of what I do is adjustables. More flexible, lower rate, higher loan amount. Excuse me. The non-HECMs, those don't have MIP, but those rates could be anywhere between 2 to 3% higher. So you're looking anywhere between, depending on the type of loan you get, 6.25 to 9.5.
And I know you had said that you work strictly with the reverse mortgage, but if you had a client that was in this situation, do you help them get this loan as well, or do you refer them to a different broker?
What do you mean by this type of loan? All those loans the non-HECMs?
Yeah, the like a refi loan.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I do purchases, refis. You can do purchase, believe it or not, with a reverse mortgage. I do the refis, purchases, all of them. And I also work for a loan broker. Excuse me. The loan broker has access to 10 different lenders. I do.
Mm-hmm.
But not all lenders are equal. Some of them you see on TV, that's just one lender. And you have their programs, their underwriting standards. Not all lenders are built equal. Some are a little looser, some are a little tighter. That's why I think the loan broker community, for reverse mortgages especially, is really necessary. So sometimes I'll move the loan from one place to another if the lender's being a little difficult to get the loan. But I do the refi. Most of what I do is reverse mortgage refinances.
Sure.
We'll pay off the existing loan that's there, the first mortgage, or if it's free and clear, that's also considered a refinance as well.
I'm sure the answer to this question is yes. I'm still going to ask it. If somebody didn't know anything about their reverse mortgage and one of the people said, "I'll just sign everything and be done," are you able to go through and look and figure out who, what, when, why, where, how, and then give advice on,
Yes.
on who, what, when, where, who, what, when, why, where, how?
I look at myself as like a reverse mortgage doctor because people contact me from all over the U.S. because I have a YouTube channel.
What is your YouTube channel? While I'm thinking about it,
it's called Kevin Walton Reverse Mortgages,
so
and I only live in California.
I have to sneeze. Very catchy. So gimmicky.
So that's gonna be Kevin Walton reverse mortgages. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Kevin
Yeah.
Walton.
I was too busy trying not to giggle. So Kevin Walton reverse mortgages on YouTube because it's very original.
I have a question, and this came up because somebody had reached out to me asking what I know about reverse mortgages, and the only person that I know that is that specializes in reverse mortgages is you, Kevin. So I reached out to you, and their angle was they were going to do a reverse mortgage and take this money out and then put it in other options and live off of the equity of that lump sum. Is that something that you can do with a reverse mortgage?
You can do, yes, you could do a lot
Okay.
of things. Like, the loan used to be looked at as a loan of last resort. This was a bad loan. I mean, there's no two ways
Right. We
about
want
it.
to get into the history of it and the bad rap for sure.
Well, I know I'll answer that when we get to it, but it was a bad deal. And
Okay.
so I tell people, yeah, you can do anything you want with the money. Probably
Okay.
50% of the people I help mostly just want to get rid of the first mortgage, not have a payment, combined with maybe a home that's free and clear that they take advances from to pay for in-home care. So they age in place. That's 50%. But the other 50%, it's all over the place because the new non-FHA reverse mortgages, you only got to be 55 to get one, and it's not 62. So there's even a second mortgage, reverse mortgage. There's such a thing. And so we use it to pay off debt. People bought an RV because they didn't want to pay this big payment with an RV. They'd rather just make a $200 payment on the RV with a reverse or no payments. Divorces. I've used some for divorce because it's easier for the spouse staying in the property to income qualify for that loan. Income qualifying for reverse is so much easier than a normal conforming loan because we don't look at a mortgage payment. We've used them for paying for kids, grandkids, education, ADUs. So I got two people using the reverse to build an ADU in their backyard because they can't get financing at the bank for a home equity line of credit. So it's all over the place. But to kind of answer your question, the true spirit of the loan is not to invest the money. But can I tell people not to do that? No. They just don't like equity going into the market.
Is
Okay.
there a, go ahead, Rich.
No, no.
Is there a, I'm gonna say a magical number that usually works best with reverse? It's hard to say reverse mortgages. Like the price of a house. Is there a magic number that usually works
Yeah.
best? Or?
It's that algorithm.
Okay.
So it's age of youngest borrower, equity position, and age of youngest borrower. So and prevailing interest rates, excuse me. I just looked at one today, and the guy was 58. He goes, "Oh, my house is worth $1 million. I owe 600, so I got a bunch of equity." And I said, "I can't do anything for you. You're too young. You're a young guy." And I said, "Now, if you were 78, now we're talking." So you can literally line up 5 people who got reverse mortgages, and they all got different loan amounts because of those factors being different: property value, age, and the time they took it out, what the rate was.
When is a reverse mortgage not the right solution?
Well, we kind of touched on it. Heirs. I'm on Zoom calls with relatives, kids that are maybe back east, and they saw my video, and we're going over the video content, and I could see if it's 2 sisters and a brother. I hate to be stereotypical, but I am. The sisters going, "This is great for mom and dad. We love it." And you see the son going, "There goes
Wow.
my inheritance." You can just read it. You read it right away. In most of the time, the parent will say, "You know what? I don't want to argue with Johnny and make him unhappy, so I'm just not going to do it." So in cases where you want to leave every penny of equity to your kids, it's not going to work. Or short term. If someone can income qualify for a home equity loan, I'll tell them, go get the equity loan. Because these loans could be expensive because of the MIP for the FHA loan. It's 2% of your property value. You got to roll into the loan amount. So in $1 million house, that's $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
In mortgage insurance, I got to put into the loan that
Yeah.
gets added to the loan. So a home equity loan is free, but a lot of people can't income qualify at the bank for the HELOCs.
Got it.
And so we look at this. So short term, maybe not so much. air issues, or we touched on this a little bit too. If you have a spouse, let's say I'm 70 and my spouse is 50, she's not old enough to go on the loan. She's not 55 or 62.
No,
But I
she's
want to
not.
get
She's 50.
right. So it's like, what do? I want this loan. I need this loan. If I need to get the loan that's not the FHA loan product, she has no protection. If I die, she's got to get out of the house.
Cautionary tale for a 70-year-old man: do not marry a 50-year-old woman.
But yeah, but we see it. I just did one where the age difference was 36 years.
Wow.
But the federal version, the HECM, they can stay as long as we know they are there at the time of the loan being done. But we're going to do the loan based on the 50-year-old's age. So the loan amount's going to be low.
Okay.
So if somebody tries to say, oh, I want to do a loan, but I want to put my spouse on there, I won't even do it just to get the higher loan amount. So in that case, not a good idea. You want both spouses protected.
Okay.
It almost sounds like, and I'm probably not right, but the older your client is, the more advantageous it is. I know there's an algorithm that goes into that, but outsider looking in at that lane, I'm not in that lane,
Right.
it almost feels like that algorithm may lean heavier towards the older customer for you.
Definitely. Definitely. About each year, right now, you wait. Loan amount could go up about $8,000 a year.
Wow.
So it could be sizable.
Wow.
I have some people say, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till I'm a little older. But here's the problem with that. Guidelines change. Lenders shrink. They get conservative. And all of a sudden, by waiting, that other 8,000, you've just lost it because maybe the rate went up to get the loan. That erodes the waiting. And also guidelines could have changed, could have got tighter. So I tell people, try to do the best you can in the window of opportunity that you're operating. Don't try to time it.
Can you refinance a reverse loan later and gain some traction in that loan amount?
Yeah. So again, if they haven't made payments, let's say 5 years down the line, that loan balance has gone up. So now we have to have enough equity to absorb that increased loan amount.
So your equity is getting chiseled away. Joel, you know, I think it's fair to say across the board in real estate, if you can do it now, don't wait.
Yeah.
With any part of a real estate transaction.
You just can't time it. It's just like a stock. If we all knew when to buy and sell, we'd all have.
If you can do it now, do it now. And
Kevin,
we have about 2.5 minutes left, Scott. Do you want to ask your question?
I do. Kevin, in as few words as possible. That's hard for me to answer that.
Me too.
Your top 3 suggestions for someone who is thinking about a reverse mortgage. My first suggestion is go to Kevin Walton reversemortgages.com. Or I'm sorry, Kevin Walton Reverse Mortgage on YouTube. That's my first one. But your top 3 suggestions for someone who's thinking about a reverse mortgage.
Why they should look into it, or
they're thinking about getting reverse mortgage. So the top 3 things they need to think about.
okay, how long you're looking to stay there? What's your exit strategy? Get educated. Go to my YouTube channel. Go to a YouTube channel. Check them out because there's some people who don't do these.
No, go to
right
your
way.
YouTube channel. Go to your YouTube channel.
And I have a video that shows how much they cost, what the fees are. You want to know that going in. And also know that the person that you're working with lives in your state that you live in. Because there are some people that are licensed in other states. they don't maybe necessarily know all the California rules. I go to all of my loan closings when I can. I'm going to one today, right after this. So I show up at the loan closing to be there as well. And I tell people, try to find people to do the same.
Like and subscribe.
Got it. Rach, your turn.
Kevin, we're going to need to have you on again because I really wanted to get into how reverse mortgages coincide with real estate transactions and how these can affect the current market in general. And that's a whole other topic that we didn't get a chance to talk about. And we'd love to have you on a couple more times. This is like a very robust topic, and there's a lot to talk about.
Well, I
So-
applaud you guys for wanting to learn about it, because
you.
more realtors need to, because it's an option out there that's not exercised on the purchase side, but you got to know how they work before going in, though, for sure.
Both Rachel and I firmly believe in keeping aces in their places. We know enough to be less than dangerous from like, I am not your guy for that. Here is Kevin. He is the expert. And once he's done with you, he'll talk to me, and then we'll talk from there. Kevin, in the remaining couple minutes, what is the best way for people to reach you?
They can reach me on my email, kwalton, the letter K and then my last name, WALTON, UCF, like Uncle Charlie Frank, so it's kwaltonucf at yahoo.com. They go to my website, which is californiareversemortgage.biz, californiareversemortgage.biz, and my YouTube channel. I got about 45 videos on there on reverse mortgages there. It serves as a good way in case people want to feel like they're being sold something. And I'm not that way. I'm very factual, educational with my videos. It's not salesy per se. It either works or it doesn't. And they can go to my videos and check them out there.
The YouTube channel again is Kevin Walton Reverse Mortgages.
Yes.
Is YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Rachel, how do people get a hold of you?
You can email me at rachel@gratishomes.com. Give me a phone call, 805-813-0664. I also have a website, rachelmarino.gratishomes.com. Miller?
You can reach me at homeswithscottkmiller.com. You can reach us right here at this channel, or you can also give me a call at 760-264-3501. Guys, this has been a very packed 30 plus minutes. Kevin, I want to thank you for coming on and spending time with us. And Rachel, you get a gold star when somebody asks you, you're like, I know that person.
I knew.
That's awesome. So with that, this is our episode
4.
Episode 4, season 2. Episode 4, season 2. And with that, we're going to get a big clap. I think. And look, we even cheer for us. Guys, very well. Kevin, again, thank you very much. Rachel, we will talk soon.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Take care,
You
guys.
can hang on, Kevin. Don't hang up. Bye.